So do you see yourself giving up smoking?
Yes, giving up cigarettes again is a very important part of this process. I gave them up in December before Christmas when my stepfather here in Kenmare actually got very ill, and to see him the way he was after many years of smoking, I kind of said, well, this is about time to pack it in. And again, I let things get in my way and get my head clouded in February, March, and I kind of hit a wall, and then I just went back on them again because I used them as a crutch or as an out, so to speak. At the time, yes, but when I've actually gone in, as I said, I've done so much homework and so much reading and so much, looking for reasons why we do things that we do. I've gone very deep into this. And at the time, yes, I would have said psychologically speaking, it did an awful lot of good for me. Looking back on it now, no, it didn't. I should have never ever gone back on them, especially after staying off them for so long and for being so good and to get over that initial hump. I mean, that first kind of 21, 30 days. If you can get over that hump, usually you're on the road to recovery. And, I just let it go. And I know why I did, because there was just a lot of background crap and noise and things that I made a big deal out of that I shouldn't have. And it caused me to, I said, oh, you know what, the hell with this, I can't take it anymore. I'm going back on the cigarettes. It calms my nerves, it calms this. It doesn't. It's a fallacy. What calms your nerves is inner peace. What calms your nerves is not thinking and not overthinking things, not, giving meaning to things that have no meaning to you, and thinking about things that haven't even happened yet, and worrying about things that haven't happened yet. Get inner peace, breathe deep, try to, think of positive thoughts. And 9 times out of 10, you don't need a cigarette. And I've really, really kind of gotten into that over the last couple of weeks, that you do not need them. As I said, I know there's going to be people out there that are going to say, oh, I can go off from cold turkey and I did this and I did that. Yes, it is all about mind power. I think by doing too much too fast in life changing, diet changing, exercise changing, and getting rid of nicotine from the body, I don't know, as I said, from a medical point of view or from a personal trainer's point of view, I think doing way too much change all together at one time can actually do more harm than good to your metabolism. You should try and wean yourself off these things rather than try to kind of do so much, in such a short period of time. No, I've tried every January, usually for the last sort of 5-6 years, I would usually go 5, 6, 7 days, maybe 20 days, maybe 10 days, maybe 2 days. I would always give myself that. I wouldn't be the typical person that would give them up the 1st of January, but I would usually kind of say, you know what, let's give it a go, and I would try. My best ever was actually, as I said, from December to March. That was my best stretch, or December to early April. Oh, a psychological trigger, absolutely, yes, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. I've identified a few of them. I can see it myself even, and that is one of the reasons. Now that might sound like a cop out, but I will be honest with you. One of the things I've been doing with this last pack of cigarettes is identifying when I actually need it, what's going on in my life, what's happening, and I'm using this as an actual experiment myself with the last week, trying to figure out, okay, this happens, what's the thing I do? I put a cigarette in my mouth. If I have a cup of coffee, I put a cigarette in my mouth. After my lunch, I'd have a cigarette in my mouth. And I know some of those I would have known already, but I'm watching like triggers, as in if something emotional or something bad news or something good news happens on the phone, or something happens in the daily life, I'm looking at that and going, and when I have the cigarette in my mouth, I go, oh Jesus, what happened to make me do that? And I'm trying to see where these things actually do trigger your mind to actually have it, and then try not to let those things happen again. And that's one of the things that I've been doing in trying to do all this. I've never felt the way I feel at the moment from a point of view of being very positive. I've gone to the stage now where I am, even if something bad happens, I'm positive about it. I look at it from a point of view that, okay, it happened, we move on from it. And I would have never been like that before. And I know it's only 2 weeks or nearly 3 weeks. But in what I'm doing in the regime and the thing that I've set up with getting up early in the morning, going to bed at a reasonable hour, trying to eat right, trying to train to keep myself busy, I have let an awful lot of baggage go from my head that would have been bothering me. And as I said, I know it's only a couple of weeks, but I think it's something that definitely won't come back again. And if it is something that comes back again, I will use something different, as instead of like I did for the 3 months previous. If I have the craving for a cigarette or for nicotine, I'll have a little thing of almonds next to me, and I'll start throwing a couple of almonds in my mouth, and that'll keep me busy for a while. Another thing that I've read is put your goals down on paper, put what you want in life down on paper. Because if you don't put these things down on paper, you forget about them. Whereas if you keep them on a list or a sheet of paper in your room or in your office or in your wallet or whatever it is, put your goals and what you want to get out of life onto a piece of paper that you can read and look at every single day. And remind yourself every day that that is what you want and that is where you're going and this is your path. This is just actually training your mind to actually go out there and do exactly what you want to do. Not what anybody else wants you to do, what you want to do and what you want to do to make the world a better place. Now we're getting very deep here, but that's kind of an awful lot of the things that I've gained out of the last 3 weeks, and I have no intention whatsoever of going back and being the person that I was before, or going back and doing the cigarettes and things like that. I am going to be, and I will be, a completely different person, but still the same me, if you know what I mean.